Hi everyone, I'm Bryn, and this is Friends Who Crime.
Friends Who Crime.
Let's get into it. For this very first episode, I'm joined by my wonderful friend Katie.
Pew, 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 pew.
Katie, please introduce yourself. Say how you know me and what your relationship to true crime is.
I'm Katie.
Hi, Katie.
So let's see. I think it's easiest to say how I know you. We've known each other a gross 10 years
Yes,
now.
ma'am.
That's too many years.
It's too many
It makes me
years.
feel really old. But it's fine. It's fine. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah,
we met because acapella.
Acapella.
Freshman year of Colegio.
Yes.
I don't know why I'm Spanish all of a sudden. I don't speak Spanish. I don't know where that came from.
Oh gosh. Yeah, so we met in college, and then what do you do now?
I'm a therapist.
Yeah, you are.
I am a licensed professional counselor and licensed marriage and family therapist.
Yes.
I like to work with a lot of LGBTQ teens, and that's fun.
Hell yeah.
I also do a lot of couples work and families work.
Yeah.
It's just a vibe.
Much needed.
Oh, I have so much job security.
Yes, you
In
do.
this economy? You kidding me? In this economy. And then for true crime, I am also an avid true crime podcast listener.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm the one that got you on Morbid, right?
Yes.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I do like other ones like National Park After Dark, My Favorite Murder, the classics, that kind of vibe. I don't like watching true crime necessarily, though. I feel like my creative brain likes to invent what the characters look like in my kind of mind's eye, so podcasts are a lot better for me in that way.
Cool.
Whereas if I'm like watching the thing like on television or show or whatever, it's like too real sometimes.
Like it takes you out of it, sort of?
Yeah, I there's less world building involved, and so I just can't get into it as much.
Yeah.
But I also think that maybe because like podcasting, I'm like usually doing something else while I'm listening to a podcast, whether it's like driving or folding my laundry or doing my dishes or whatever.
Yup.
Hanging out with my new puppy.
Your new puppy.
My new puppy.
Yes, talk about your new puppy.
My little belly girl.
Yes.
Bella is at home with daddy right now. She just chilling. She's such a daddy's girl, so I bet she's having the time of her life right now.
She's so cute.
She's adorable and soft, and she's gonna get huge.
Yes.
But she's just a little 13 weeks right now,
Yes.
and that's fine.
But them paws.
Them paws is big-o. She gonna be a big girl.
Yes, she is. But in the best way.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Other animals, I've got Boof in my lap right now.
Yes. If you don't know me personally as a listener, I have two cats. One is Boof, and he's a big chunk, and he's
chunky.
laying in between Katie and I right now. As
Mostly
we record
like
this.
on me as a
Mostly
pillow,
Katie,
which
yes.
I approve of.
And then Basil is my other cat, and she's running around.
Where's
she
she even
might
at?
come say hi.
She's in the chair over there.
Yeah, that's her recliner over
Oh,
there.
excellent. I love that
Yes.
for her. I
Um,
want her to visit me.
But yeah, so this is the first episode, so it's not going to be without its tumbles and stumbles. I'm sure we already had one, so
Shh, don't tell them about it.
bear with me. Bear with me. But have you heard of the case of Ryan Poston and Shayna Hubers?
Literally never, at least not off the top of my head.
Yeah, Ryan Poston. I always say Poston for some reason.
Because you like pasta so much.
Yes. No, but it's Ryan Poston. And we're just gonna jump right into it.
Hell yeah.
This case really struck me when I heard about it because of the interrogation part of it.
Oh.
And you'll see what I mean. It's not necessarily like the police work.
Oh, that's exactly what I was expecting it to be. Okay.
Yeah, so it's not that. We'll get there.
Okay.
But I watched this case. I first heard about it on an episode of Killer Cases on Hulu.
Love Hulu.
They're just these short little, like, 45-minute, 1 hour...
Short.
Listen,
45
they're short.
minutes.
They're short. These docuseries
Cool,
now, I'll
cool.
binge 4 hours, okay?
Yeah, fair enough.
But this one, they're just short little overviews. And it was just, I mean, the interrogation is just, like, unlike anything I had ever seen before.
Oh boy.
And you'll see what I mean. It's just bizarre. Just
Okay.
bizarre. It also, like, drew very significant media attention
Ooh.
for several reasons. The murder victim, Ryan Poston, he was a really young, ambitious lawyer.
Uh-huh.
And then at the center of the investigation is Shayna. And the media, as it so often does, likes to latch on to, like, a woman whose actions kind of shock people, because women typically don't commit violent murders.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spoiler alert.
That's where we're going. Oh boy.
Yes. But it's sort of, the themes here are like obsession, ambition, and tragedy.
Oh god.
Those are our 3 keywords.
Okay.
Today.
Wow, what terrible words.
It's a lesson in red flags for sure.
Oh, I love that.
So let's
So
start.
I'll just like use my therapist hat while listening to this.
Please do. Please do. You'll see. So let's start with Ryan.
Awesome.
Ryan Poston. He was born on December 30th, 1982 in Fort Mitchell, Kentucky. Ryan was the oldest of 4 siblings with 3 younger sisters.
Oh my god.
So, oldest brother, only boy.
Yeah.
Protective,
Yeah.
for sure.
That's fun because that's the reverse of my family.
Oh.
And your family, but you're the middle.
Yeah, I'm in the middle.
I'm the youngest, and I'm the only girl.
Yeah.
He's the oldest, and he's the only boy.
Yes.
Interesting.
The inverse. Math.
Yin and yang.
So, Ryan's family was very close. It included his mom, Lisa, his stepdad, Peter Carter, and his dad, Jay Poston. His dad was also in the legal field.
Ooh.
Ryan, during high school, attended Blessed Sacrament School in Fort Mitchell,
Oh.
but then later studied at international schools in the Philippines and in Switzerland.
What?
Yeah. So,
Like, just for fun? That's
yeah.
crazy.
But it kind of gave him this, like, global
That's,
view.
like, so cultured. I love that.
Yes.
That was probably so expensive.
Yes, I assume so, but his dad's a lawyer.
Lawyer
so-
daddy. Yeah, you get what you need. Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. And then after he graduated from all of that, he went to college at Indiana University, and he triple majored
Oh my god.
in history, geography, and political science.
History, geography, political science.
Yeah.
I mean, they all go hand in hand.
Yes, but you can imagine that workload. Like,
Oh, absolutely insane.
so driven, so smart.
Yeah. Do you know, did he do it in 4 years?
I believe he did.
That's entirely insane.
Yes.
Like, even 1 major in 4 years.
know.
And this guy did triple
Triple
that's
major.
too much.
Mhm.
That's too much.
Just, like, must have made his whole life about school for 4 years, and
Yeah, that was his, like, full-time job.
it paid off for him, because
So
after he graduated, he went to Northern Kentucky University in Highland Heights to earn his law degree. So, taken after dad.
Definitely daddy's
Continuing
footprints.
the family legacy.
Yes.
He was really passionate about his career, especially helping others. He began working as a lawyer in Cincinnati, Ohio, and he focused on
Why Ohio?
Oh no. He focused on civil litigation, so like non-criminal cases,
Okay.
personal injury, property disputes, contract disputes,
Okay.
employment issues. So nothing crazy.
No.
But he really cared deeply about justice, especially for those with limited resources who maybe couldn't afford it.
Nice. A man after my own heart.
Yes. His boss described him as passionate, driven, committed to his clients' welfare.
I mean, we knew he was driven.
Yeah, we've been new. Those who knew Ryan personally described him as a rare combination of brilliance and warmth.
Nice.
Friends said he was the easiest, most laid-back guy you'd ever meet. His father called him a man with a heart of gold. His
Aw.
professional demeanor reflected his values. He dressed really sharply. He took pride in his appearance. His sort of philosophy was, if you want to be a successful lawyer, you have to dress like a successful lawyer.
Okay.
Like, very image-oriented.
I am not that way.
Me
I'm like a
neither.
cartoon character. I wear the same outfit to work every single day.
like a cartoon character.
Like SpongeBob, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I just the same thing every
Yeah.
single day.
I mean, I'm in a wrinkly t-shirt and jeans right now.
I mean, that's fine.
And, like, have remnants of dry shampoo in my hair.
It just looks like a messy bun. You're hot.
Thank you. Thanks. Wow. So Ryan's life seemed pretty picture perfect on the surface, but like anyone, he had his struggles.
Dun dun dun! Skeletons in the closet.
Oh, beneath this polished exterior was a man navigating personal challenges, especially in his romantic relationships. One of those relationships was with Shayna Hubers.
We've heard that name.
Yes.
Oh no.
So how did they meet? At the time, Ryan was 21, and he was newly single because he just ended a recent long-term relationship.
Okay.
So newly single, he had his cousin on Facebook, and his cousin posted pictures of her spring break, and he saw Shayna in those pictures.
Okay.
And he was like, oh, she's
So
pretty.
there's some mutuals going on.
And he added her on Facebook.
As you do.
And they started chatting,
Yeah.
slid into her DMs.
This is roundabouts what year?
About 2011.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're just babies at that time.
Yes.
We're like sophomores in high school.
Oh, yeah. Jeez. I was like...
Prime time for
that was,
Facebook.
Like, college? No.
No.
No. That was very early high school.
Yeah.
So Shayna, right, drew Ryan in because she was attractive, she was very seemingly ambitious, she was very bright, very smart as well.
So similar vibes.
Yes. So that kind of drew Ryan in, but as their relationship progressed, it would become very clear that their dynamic was kind of toxic.
Oh boy.
Definitely not healthy.
I mean, it can't be.
No.
Knowing what is gonna happen.
Not on a podcast called Frenzy Crime, that's for sure.
Not so much.
So, who's Shayna? Shayna Hubers. She was only 20 when she met Ryan.
Well, youngin'.
So
how old did you say he was?
He was 29.
Oh, God.
So, big age gap.
That's a very different place in life.
Yes. And it works for some people, I'm sure.
Sure, yeah.
But in this case...
Man's just, like, finished law school.
Yeah.
And he just meets someone who's not legal drinking age.
Correct. But... she graduated from undergrad. She went to University of... No. That was her grad degree. Where did she go to undergrad?
Ooh, she's got grad school.
Yes. So she went to undergrad. She graduated cum laude in
smarty.
3 years on a music scholarship.
Okay, she's on that same kick as him then.
Yes. Super smart. Now she was a psychology student at University of Kentucky in Lexington.
I hate that I relate to her in that way.
Mm-hmm. And she was studying school counseling.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
I took so many school counseling classes.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, so that's what she was doing. You get it. You know.
How does one do that and then become what she becomes? Mm-hmm. I'm so excited to hear.
She seemed really determined to build a successful future, kind of projected this image of a very, like, promising young woman. But there was more to Shayna than met the eye.
Ho, ho, ho.
Friends and classmates described her as very intelligent, but also noted a streak of vicious competitiveness.
Oh, boy.
And an intense need for validation.
Oh, that's not good.
We were talking about red flags.
Uh-huh.
That might be
Those
one of
are
them.
some.
But, like, me too, you know?
I mean, but not to her level, probably.
No, clearly not.
Have you murdered someone lately, Bren?
No.
Keyword lately. Okay. I hear ya.
Oh, gosh. But her drive and focus, which might have been seen as strengths, sometimes manifested in being obsessive and kind of controlling.
Yeah, I mean, as with, like, any coping mechanism that you do, it can be on the spectrum from, like, adaptive to maladaptive. And in certain scenarios, being, like, really viciously competitive and super driven can be totally adaptive in one area of life, but then really not healthy in other areas of life, especially, like, a relationship.
Yep.
God.
Exactly. So meeting Ryan added a new layer to Shayna's life. To Shayna, Ryan represented, like, success, status, the kind of life she wanted to have going forward. And their relationship would become a central focus for her, kind of intertwining her future with his in ways that would prove catastrophic.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, here we go. Their relationship. Ryan and Shayna's relationship began quickly.
Oh,
but
never a good... Well, sometimes fine, but often not great.
The cracks started showing pretty quickly as well.
Yeah.
They started dating soon after meeting, but according to Ryan's friends, he lost interest not too long into the relationship.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's another red flag.
And despite this, though, their relationship lasted 18 months. Kind of stretched out. It was up and down, on again, off again, full of red flags, very volatile.
Oh, no.
But Shayna was deeply invested in Ryan. And according to some people, said she was obsessive about Ryan.
So you have like a chaser and a runner kind of a vibe.
And she would log into his Facebook account and she would block women that she viewed as potential threats.
No.
So jealous, controlling, and like you gotta fight that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta fight those feelings.
Yeah, you gotta work on them for sure. You gotta talk about them. You can't just log into someone's Facebook and do stuff without them.
Yeah.
Like, consent is so important in relationships, and she's just trouncing all over that.
Yeah. But also, they lived 80 miles apart.
Oh.
So Ryan was in Highland Heights and Shayna lived in Lexington because she's still in school.
Right.
So it's
long distance.
80 miles away, long distance element, added strain.
Yeah.
But Shayna made it clear that she was invested. She was determined to stay in his life.
Yeah. Extremely determined.
Yes. He was kind of more than just a boyfriend to her. He was this handsome older attorney.
Oh boy.
Status, sophistication.
All Shayna, her eggs are in this basket.
She admired him and kind of wanted that for herself. It elevated her image, but behind the scenes, it was not very glamorous.
Oh boy.
Ryan's friends and family grew very concerned. No. They noticed that Shayna's behavior affected Ryan, describing the relationship as toxic and emotionally draining for him.
No.
Yet, breaking away from Shayna would prove to be very difficult and dangerous.
I mean, yeah.
More than anyone kind of imagined.
Oh boy.
So here we go, leading up to the murder. By October of 2012, Ryan and Shayna's relationship was unraveling.
Okay.
Ryan was 29, Shayna was 21. The age gap, their distance became really difficult to navigate.
And just like her controlling abusive behaviors.
Correct. And she confided in her friends, saying she felt like she was losing him. Kind of this desperate, angry feeling that she was losing him.
Yeah, she like goes into her fight or flight kind of survival mechanism. Like when someone's like backed into a corner, you're gonna lash out in whatever ways you can to protect yourself.
Yeah, just kind of like grasping at him.
Yeah. And
not knowing like what she's gonna do.
Learn the word no, girl.
Yeah. Yeah. So these are some of the text messages she sent to her friends.
Oh my god.
She said to one of her friends, "He says he is only with me because I make him feel so awful when I cry."
Oh no.
And then a different one, she said, "My love has turned to hate."
Oh boy.
So like extreme reactions.
This is like Anakin episode 3 turning to the dark side vibes.
You're not wrong.
Like, if you're not with me, you're against me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Very that.
Oh no.
Very that. So just these really aggressive text messages that are rooted in, we keep saying it, obsession.
Yeah.
Just obsession and emotional immaturity.
Controllingness. Oh yeah, definitely emotionally mature, for sure.
So at this point, Ryan was done.
Yeah.
He told his stepfather he planned to end things with Shayna for good. And he attempted to break up with her, but Shayna didn't let go. And she was still holding on.
Been there, girl.
Still texting him, just like begging for him back.
Yep.
Kind of shut down in her own life.
So desperate. Yeah.
But Ryan had a new love interest.
Oh god.
October 12th of 2012, he had a date planned with Audrey Bolt,
Okay.
a former Miss Ohio.
Love that for him. Oh my god.
The
Appearance
two-
is so important. I bet she was gorgeous.
Exactly. The two had been messaging. Audrey later described Ryan as funny, someone she was genuinely excited to meet. On the episode of 2020 that covers this case, they interview her, and she said Ryan was successful, he's handsome, who wouldn't be excited, right?
Yeah.
Like, she's former Miss Ohio,
Yeah.
she's gorgeous,
Yeah.
she's smart, she's funny.
Oh, my water bottle. Basil. Basil, baby. Oh, tries to sit in my lap.
We told
Fails
you.
miserably.
Did I mention I have cats everywhere? Oh, okay, so date with former Miss Ohio.
Yes.
But things didn't quite go as planned that night.
Interesting.
Audrey arrived at the restaurant. She waited for him to show up. And she waited, and she waited, and she waited.
No one stands up Miss Ohio.
Yes. So, he never made it to the date.
Oh no.
Yeah, so she eventually went home thinking she'd been stood up.
That sucks.
Right? It's former Miss Ohio.
Yeah.
Being stood up.
How dare
A
he?
sin. Truly.
Truly a sin.
So where was Ryan?
Probably dead, I'm gonna guess.
It starts with a 911 call.
Oh no.
October 12th, 2012
Yep.
would end in tragedy.
Yeah.
Shayna made a 911 call that would forever change everything,
Oh boy.
saying she had killed Ryan Poston in his Highland Heights condo.
Oh, she just straight up says it.
And immediately on this 911 call, she says, "I killed my boyfriend in self-defense."
I'm calling bullshit to that straight out the gate.
That is the first thing she says, and she says it several times on that call.
I mean, clearly trying to set the scene.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't think a sane person would be like, it was self-defense, I promise.
Right. Just kind of like setting up for the legal side of things, I think.
Yeah.
On this call, she told the dispatcher that Ryan had physically attacked her, saying he beat me and tried to drag me out of the house. She claimed he slammed her into the couch, threw her across the room, and that there was this, like, escalating physical altercation.
I mean, I bet things did get escalated, because, like, he's trying to break up with her, it's a whole thing. Like, things would get heated no matter what.
Right, and
They could have gotten physical, who the hell knows?
toxic relationship,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
But as the call continued, things took an eerie turn.
Oh boy.
Shayna described Ryan's condition after she shot him, saying...
Girl, you brought a gun. Oh my god. That's premeditated as hell.
And she's on this call, and she says, after she shot him, she said, "Because he was twitching, and I knew he was gonna die anyway, and he was making funny noises, I shot him a couple more times just to kill him.
Well, girl.
I wanted to make sure he was dead."
Oh, no. Well, there goes all of your defense that you had. Because, like, before, if you'd have been like, 911, please help. I shot my boyfriend, but he's still twitching. Hurry.
Right.
He could have been saved. You don't know. You can't predict the future. What the? I shot him because I knew he was gonna die anyway.
Literally like an animal.
Oh my
Like,
god!
putting him
Like
out of his
yeah,
misery
yeah.
kind of
Like
thing.
you run over an animal and then you want to end it.
Right.
Like what the hell?
So
That's so cold.
obviously this suggested something more sinister
Yeah.
than a moment of self-defense.
Uh-huh.
He had been shot and was probably bleeding out.
Yeah.
And she shoots him 5 more times.
5 more times?
Yes.
So 6 total?
6 total.
God.
And not just in one place, like all over the body.
So she's just really going for it.
Mm-hmm.
That is awful.
Yes. Police arrive,
Yep.
and they find Ryan's lifeless body. He's lying on the floor near a wall by their dining table. He had been shot 6 times, wounds all over his body, including a fatal shot to the face. The specific locations of the shots suggested a violent, deliberate act rather than, like, panic and self-defense.
Right.
And the scene didn't really align with Shayna's story either.
No way! Who would have thought?
Yeah, police noted that there were no signs of a struggle.
Yep.
No defensive wounds on Ryan's body.
Yeah.
That would, like, indicate that he had attacked her.
Right, and he struggled, yeah.
Ryan's wounds pointed to, like, this execution style.
Yeah, you get shot in the face.
Shooting.
Like,
Yeah.
that's intense.
Yeah.
And then more times after that. That's... girl.
So they bring Shayna in.
Yeah, this ain't holding up.
Yeah.
Oh, tell me about this investigation, or, interrogation.
Interrogation, Katie.
Oh boy.
Are you ready?
Oh no. I'm more than ready.
It's really
I've never
awful.
been more ready for this.
It's honestly really awful, and like,
God.
I laugh because
What else are you gonna do?
So bizarre.
Oh yeah,
but
we laugh at true crime because A, it's kind of awkward for us, but then B, like, it is so incredibly tragic that laughing as a coping mechanism is kind of all we have.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Okay.
So here we go.
What does girl do in this interrogation? Tell me.
It was wild. After being read her Miranda rights, Shayna said she wanted a lawyer. So
Immediately lawyers up. Yep.
Immediately. Officer Dave Fornash stopped questioning. That's
Yeah.
what they have to do.
Yes.
Someone says they want a lawyer,
Yeah.
they have to stop
Yes.
questioning. But Shayna just started talking.
Oh girl.
No lawyer.
Oh boy.
After asking for one.
Oh.
Just
went
for
it. I love that for Ryan. Like, love that.
Mm-hmm. She claimed that Ryan had a history of domestic abuse. She said he had put his arm across the table and had it in my face and was screaming at me at the top of his lungs after he had thrown me around the room.
With no defensive marks on your body. Cool.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Shayna said Ryan was, like, just insulting her in the worst, most aggressive
Girl,
way.
he was trying to break up with you.
She's sort of painting herself as the victim
Yeah,
here.
definitely.
But at the same time, he was saying, like, you're just a hillbilly, I hate your accent, no one will ever love you. She had some trauma in her past, too, so he's like, no one's ever gonna love you because of this thing that happened in your past.
Yeah.
But as she's telling this version of events, her demeanor was strange.
Oh boy.
The entire interrogation, Shayna spoke with an unsettlingly flippant attitude, like she was sort of detached from the gravity of the situation.
I mean, you would be in shock either way, whether you had purposefully murdered someone or accidentally murdered someone.
Yes.
And, like, we can't say how someone's gonna be when they're in shock, but being flippant is one of the more unlikely.
It just... Well, okay, let me get into this.
Okay.
When discussing the shooting,
Yeah.
they're asking her what happened and why she did it, and she joked. She's laughing, and she said he was very vain, and added that shooting him in the face, and I quote, gave him the nose job he always wanted.
Can I cuss?
Yeah.
Fucking asshole. Jesus Christ.
Can I cuss?
Fucking asshole. Like, that's so insensitive. Like, that's pretty much one of the worst things you can say.
So, like, when I say she was being flippant,
That's
like,
terrible.
no, we can't say how someone's gonna react after something like that happens.
Someone's self-defense wouldn't do anything of, like, oh yeah, finally gave him a nose job.
Right. And I'm actually gonna play part of the video from this interrogation.
Okay.
I'm gonna link it in the show notes.
Sweet.
So that if you're listening, you want to go watch it, you definitely should. If you haven't seen this, it's pretty crazy. But
Sweet.
I'm gonna pull this up. Oh my god. Okay.
Almost loses all of the work on the laptop.
Not again. Okay, so here we go. And we're gonna, like, talk about all this, but...
She's singing? Oh, she's singing Amazing Grace?
Yes.
Watch him twitch. I knew he was going to die or have a completely deformed face. He's very vain. One of our last conversations we had that was good was that he wants my best friend who's a dentist to do his veneers and wants to get a nose job. Just that kind of person. And I shot him right here. I gave him his nose job. He wanted.
That's so callous.
Mm-hmm.
I did. Yes, I did. I can't believe
Yeah. So literally saying,
Oh my
like,
God.
I did it. I did it.
She's pretty close to psychotic in that clip, it looks like pretty manic.
Just, like, very disturbingly casual.
She's, like, smiling and singing Amazing Grace, and then is just like, haha, I gave him that nose job he finally wanted, and then just starts sobbing.
Yep.
That's so... I don't love the history of the word hysterical, but she's hysterical in that. That's... Wow.
Yeah.
Next level.
So these are the things that happened in the video, kind of with some extra things that you didn't see.
Okay.
She laughed while saying, I don't know if anyone will ever want to marry me if they know that I killed my boyfriend in self-defense.
I should think not.
And she also said, I don't think that what I did was necessarily completely wrong.
Girl.
She questioned life in jail. She said, if you go to jail, are you allowed to keep your phone? Can you shower there? Or do you just get really dirty? I have to shower in front of people? Oh, shit.
Maybe don't murder people and you don't have to deal with questions like that.
She's just, like, focused on this practical aspect of imprisonment.
Not thinking, oh no, I just murdered someone.
Right.
Supposedly in self-defense.
And my boyfriend.
Yeah,
that I've been
just
dating.
killed my boyfriend in self-defense. Like, if she had actually killed her boyfriend in self-defense, like, she'd be inconsolable.
Right.
She would be so upset. She'd be in a grief process. She's not grieving right now. She is self-centered, thinking of her own, oh, am I gonna have to shower in front of people?
Right.
Can I bring my phone to jail? What?
Yep.
Oh my God.
So then the police left her in the interrogation room for hours. And
I love
this
that for
is-
them.
Yeah.
Because her just walking around singing and then just, I did it. Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
So she began pacing around the room.
Yep.
Eventually, she started singing and dancing to Amazing Grace.
Crazy.
She actually had a pretty good voice, though. I'm not gonna
I mean,
lie.
low-key, yeah.
But at one point, she literally was like snapping and singing.
Yeah, like,
I did it.
bopping
Yep,
around.
I did it. I can't believe I did that. I'm so good at acting. Like, just like snapping into this like performance mode and then snapping right out of it.
That's
Obviously,
something going on there.
Obviously, her arrest was inevitable.
Yeah.
She was arrested for murder, held on a $5 million bond.
Nice.
The interrogation left a chilling impression on law enforcement. They were left to wonder, like, was she truly remorseful? Was she just playing a role?
Yep.
And everyone watching that interrogation, like, the DA, was just, like, baffled. It was like,
Yeah.
who says that? Who says, I gave him the nose job he always wanted?
Truly.
Like, just disturbing.
Like, there was remorse there, because she says that and then she cries, but I don't think it's remorse about what she did. It's remorse about the consequences she's going to be facing.
Right. And even, I don't know, even then, she just doesn't seem all that upset about it.
No. She's just, like, starting to think about her consequences.
Right.
And that's the part, like, she's not sorry she did it. She's sorry she got caught kind of a vibe.
Yeah, she's thinking they're gonna believe her about
Right,
this self-defense
right.
thing, and she's
Yeah.
hasn't done anything wrong.
They might have if you didn't go, so I shot him more times because he was twitching.
Mm-hmm.
That's not that's where the self-defense stops.
Right.
Homegirl.
Right, and like legally, literally, like that's where that stops.
That's the line. Yeah.
If you had shot him once to stop him from
yeah,
what he
and
was
then,
doing,
yeah.
fine, but
He
you
had
shoot
it
him
coming.
again. Yes, exactly. I was just thinking that. I was just thinking that some men can't hold their arsenic. Okay, here comes the investigation.
Oh, man.
quickly revealed inconsistencies in Shayna's account of the events.
100%.
No injuries or bruising were found on Shayna's body to support her claims
Yep.
that Ryan had assaulted her. Despite her assertions of violent altercation, the crime scene told a different story.
Yep.
There were no signs of a struggle, nothing was knocked over, no furniture had been moved, no evidence that suggested a confrontation.
Yeah.
Like a chaotic confrontation.
Right. Because she's like, he threw me around the room.
Like, slammed me into the couch.
Right.
Like,
You'd
no.
think maybe a pillow would be on the floor,
Yeah.
or maybe a chair would be turned over,
and,
or something.
And you remember I said he was laying next to the dining table?
Yeah.
And she's
Which is
saying
just, like, totally
he,
well
was
put together.
reaching across the table, putting his
Yeah.
hands in my face, putting the gun in my face, and there's a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
If you look at the photos, there's a bunch of stuff on the dining table.
That
Nothing's
totally
knocked
would have been
over.
knocked over.
Nothing's knocked over.
Interesting.
Yeah. Ryan's body was found in a fixed position, as though he hadn't been involved in any kind of physical fight.
Okay.
He was found kind of like laying on
Not,
his
like,
side
mid
and like hunched
movement.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wasn't like, like
Yeah.
splayed out, just like sort of in this like fetal position almost.
Oh, poor guy, man.
Yeah.
What an awful way to go.
Yeah. So the police began to question the validity of Shayna's self-defense claim,
Yeah.
obviously.
Good.
The absence of the physical evidence, coupled with the bizarre interrogation footage, made it very clear that Shayna's narrative didn't align with the facts. Further investigation into her background and behavior painted a picture of a woman who might have had a much darker motive.
Oh, no.
The more they dug into her and who she was, the more disturbing the details were. Pieces of evidence were analyzed. It became evident that Ryan's shooting was not an act of self-defense, but a premeditated crime fueled by something far more complex than a mere moment of violence.
Yeah.
These text messages, right? Like we're gonna hear more about the texts that they sent to each other.
Oh, God.
But just like very clearly there were issues there. There was motive. And
was she even, like, supposed to be there?
Yes.
Okay.
He had told his stepfather, like, I'm gonna break up with her.
Yeah.
And
But then
and
he's,
I'm
like,
going
supposed to
this
be on a date, yeah.
Yes. So the way I understand it is it was happening the same day.
Okay.
So he was gonna break up again with Shayna.
Yeah.
Tell her to fuck off.
Yeah.
And then go on this date with Audrey.
Okay.
Aubrey? I think it's Audrey.
Miss Ohio.
Miss Ohio. Former Miss Ohio. Yeah, Audrey. I was right.
Hell yeah.
Oh, the trial. Central question to this whole case.
Yeah.
What was the motive? Was it self-defense? Was it not? Was it premeditated?
Most likely premeditated is gonna be my bet.
From our point of view, from the prosecution's point of view, absolutely not. Right?
Right.
Not self-defense.
No.
But from the defense lawyer's point of view...
Oh, you grasp at straws.
self-defense.
Yeah, you do everything that you can.
Yeah, it's not a question of, like, did she do it?
Right.
It's why did she do it?
Right. He ran into my knife.
He ran into my knife 10 times. Trial became a media spectacle.
Oh, boy.
Right? She's a woman.
Yeah.
Public was captivated by the details of the case, the chilling nature of Shayna's actions, the behavior during the interrogation.
And I bet people had, like, heard the 911 call as well, which is just, like, totally setting up for, like, everything's false about this.
Yeah. And they're just, like, they're hearing all sorts of things on the news.
Yeah.
They're reading things. Like, so this trial was a big deal.
Yeah.
To the media. There were 2 trials.
Okay.
The first one took place in 2015.
Yep.
So 3 years after the crime.
Yep.
And she was initially sentenced to 40 years in prison.
40?
40.
Okay.
But later, it was discovered that one of the jurors in that trial had a felony conviction.
Oh, well,
Which,
toss that.
can't do that. So the judge ordered a new trial, which was, like, heartbreaking for Ryan's family.
Oh, yeah, you gotta be re-traumatized.
Yeah.
Anytime there's a trial, and
Gotta relive
then you
all
gotta
that.
do it all again. That's absolutely terrible.
And they like, got an outcome that was, like, fairly good. 40 years in prison.
Right. I mean, it's not life. It's not, I don't know if they wanted to try for, you know, the death penalty or anything like that, or even if you can in Kentucky. I don't know.
I don't know if you can.
But, like, 40 years is not the right amount of justice for if your son loses all, presumably, like, 80 years of life left.
Yeah. 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 So, second trial, this was now 2018.
Okay.
So they had another 3 years.
Yeah.
Shayna had hired a new defense attorney,
Okay.
clearly. Like, she would want someone else because she lost.
Yep.
His name was David Eldridge.
Okay.
The prosecutor was Michelle Snodgrass. She took lead for the stake, arguing... State?
For the
steak. Yum.
Yummy.
Arguing that Shayna was calculating, manipulative, and driven by jealousy.
Yeah.
And, like we said, they're arguing that it's premeditated.
Right.
The prosecution's theory was that Shayna wanted Ryan and would do anything to possess him, including ending his life to ensure she had him entirely.
Right.
If I can't have you, no one
No
can.
one can have you,
Yeah. The evidence of that manipulation, Shayna's friend, Dr. Christy Euler, testified about the texts that Shayna had sent her prior to the murder.
I love texts.
Here we go.
They're so incriminating.
Shayna had texted Krista, "When I go to the shooting range with Ryan tonight, I want to turn around, shoot him, kill him, and play like it's an accident."
Well, that's not good.
Yeah.
That's just straight up black and white. I want to murder Ryan.
Yeah.
I want to turn around, but then I also want to pretend it's an accident.
Right.
Guess what, girl? Cut and dry.
Nice try.
That's kind of what you did,
Yep.
but at the apartment.
She also had gone to a local mall the day of the murder, and a salesperson at the mall, saw she's visibly upset and had made the comment multiple times, "I'm going to kill my boyfriend."
Girl, at the mall?
Yeah.
At the mall?
Yeah.
You can't be okay, I love that she's stupid enough to do that, because, like, girl, you got caught, but, like, at the mall?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so deeply premeditated. Like, being her defense, I'd be like, she, I guess, well, see, here's the thing. Like, I wouldn't even know what to do with that.
Yes. So let's talk about... Oh, wait. One more thing about the prosecution.
Yeah.
They closed their case by presenting testimony from Shayna's cellmates.
Oh, boy.
Who revealed that Shayna admitted to lying about the abuse she claimed Ryan subjected her to.
Bro.
Yeah.
I, once again, love that she's that dumb, because it is more justice for Ryan.
Not
but,
doing
like,
well.
You can't, like, you learn that from watching TV shows about prison.
But, like,
Don't talk. Don't
probably,
never talk about your case.
She probably thinks she's smarter than everyone, you
Good.
know? And, she's just making
Very, like,
these mistakes.
Anna Delvey of her.
Yes.
Good.
So, here's the defense's side. The defense claimed that Shayna was suffering from BPD.
Sounds up the right alley.
Which,
yeah.
if you don't know, that's borderline personality disorder. And also suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD.
Okay.
Which led her to act under extreme emotional disturbance.
Yeah. With BPD, you have a lot of craving affection and feeling really worthless whenever someone's trying to leave you, and then it starts this gigantic control cycle.
Yeah.
So that is totally right up the right alley.
It tracks.
Yes,
it
absolutely tracks.
The defense sort of painted Shayna as a victim of Ryan's verbal and physical abuse, with the narrative sort of suggesting Ryan was emotionally manipulative and cruel, which to me is a little bit of projection going on.
Well,
but
and so, like, here's the thing. Even if that was true, it's not right to murder someone.
Yes, exactly.
Like,
you're so
that's
right.
not, like, how is that even their defense? Oh, well, he abused her verbally, so she killed him? Like, what?
They're saying, like, he was abusing her physically and mentally.
Yeah.
And that caused her to murder him under extreme emotional disturbance.
girl, call the domestic abuse hotline. Get out. Like, there's so many other options besides killing him, if that were true. But I'm gonna guess that's not even true.
You know, it's not for me to decide, and I'm happy about that. That someone else had to decide that.
Yep.
So they introduced this new angle. They had Audrey Bolt testify, the former Miss Ohio. Ryan's date from the night of the murder, testified she didn't know Ryan was two-timing Shayna. So kind of showing this other side of Ryan.
Fair enough.
That was not honorable.
I mean, but he was planning on breaking up with her, so, like, that would have been clean.
Yes.
I mean, but you have to be, like, talking to someone ahead of a date, I guess. So
yeah, and
he is talking to two girls at the same time.
he was
Not to say even though, like, even if he's doing that, you don't deserve to be murdered.
No.
Shayna cannot be judge, jury, and executioner.
Right.
Not allowed.
No, I agree with you.
If he's cheating on you, you're still not allowed to murder him.
Yeah. So they called up a neighbor.
Yep.
Right? And the neighbor claimed that Shayna had come to her house one night with a red mark on her arm, alleging that Ryan had hurt her. Okay.
Keyword alleging.
Yes. And they were like, you should call the cops. And she was like, no, like, I don't want him to get in trouble.
Okay.
So.
Devil's advocate there. It does take, on average, these are numbers off the top of my head, so they're not going to be accurate. I think it is 12 to 13 times on average for an abusee, a victim, a survivor, to leave an abusive relationship. Okay. So if she had been being abused, that line of thinking of like, oh, I don't want to get him in trouble, oh, it's like not his fault, I understand why he did this, like that does track.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah.
Playing devil's advocate. But you still can't murder someone.
Correct. Yeah, we keep coming back around to that. Like
it's still not gonna ever be okay.
It doesn't matter if he's like the most shit human being on the planet.
You can't murder him.
You still can't murder him.
Get him into therapy or something. Don't murder him.
So,
girl,
from here, Shayna decided to take the stand.
Oh, okay. Love it, love it, love it. Yes, please.
In the documentary that I was watching, her defense attorney was kind of like, she had the right to do that. She wanted to testify, so she testified.
Like, against my better judgment, I let her do this. Lots of shrugging.
Yeah. Like, and he didn't necessarily say, like, I told her not to, but, like, you could tell.
Yeah.
It was like, maybe didn't.
It's like when a teacher in Texas can't be like, I'm not gonna tell you to, like, have safe sex. I have to tell you, don't have sex at all.
Right. I have to tell you to keep your pants on.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
Like, condoms exist.
If I did tell you to have safe sex, I would tell you to find condoms at Planned Parenthood. Like, same exact line of thinking.
And the consequences of that are similar to the consequences of this. Like, you have to live with it. You have to live with your consequences. So, her testimony included controversial details about their sex life.
Oh, don't bring that into court.
This came to be known as, and I quote, the orgasm defense.
What?
Yeah. So
what?
She claimed Ryan pressured her into sexual acts to the point of emotional manipulation. She said, Ryan always put pressure on me to orgasm. She even suggested that Ryan encouraged her to undergo a G-shot injection.
Whoa.
And told her that no one would ever love her because she couldn't orgasm.
What the hell?
Okay, this is what she's claiming. We don't know.
What the hell?
They got in a fight that night on October 12th.
Yep.
Ryan was verbally abusing her. She claimed Ryan threatened her with a gun and said, I could just kill you right now and get away with it. No one would even know. After setting the gun down, she said Ryan approached her and, fearing for her life, she grabbed the gun and shot him.
And then kept shooting.
And then shot him 5 more times.
Yeah.
So here comes the cross-examination.
Yep.
The prosecution fired back with powerful cross-examination presenting texts that showed a different side of their relationship.
Yeah.
Shayna texted, so why won't you initiate sex with me? I don't want to force myself on you sexually anymore.
Okay, so, like, the exact opposite of what you said about he forces me to try to orgasm.
Right.
Like,
And, like, I don't want to force you...
If that was the truth, that, like, he was forcing her to do sexual coercion, rape, whatever, absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
Absolutely awful.
Awful.
Still doesn't deserve to be murdered.
Right.
Like, get him justice one way or another.
And she says,
God.
I don't want to force myself sexually on you anymore. Which...
So that's admitting that she's forced herself sexually on him before.
Mm-hmm.
So who's the one doing the rape?
It's not lining up.
Girl.
The prosecution used...
She's terrible.
Yeah.
She's so bad.
The prosecution used these texts to argue that the murder wasn't about self-defense, but Shayna's manipulation and jealousy.
Yeah, absolutely.
During closing arguments, the prosecution hit hard, saying Shayna had shot Ryan to, quote, put him out of his misery like an injured animal.
Yeah.
But they had to withdraw that statement, like, immediately.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. The other lawyer was like, objection, and the judge was like, yeah, you can't say that. But you can imagine, like, it still had an effect on the jury.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
The prosecution focused on Shayna's own words and their history, like the relationship's history.
Yeah.
And they quoted her, and I think this is quoting her, quoting someone else, but she said, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned.
Oh, yeah.
That was kind of how they left the jury, was with those words. Like, Shayna's untrustworthy, celebrating taking another person's life.
Yeah.
They showed the jury
I did
the
it,
videos.
I did it.
Right. And, like, that was in their closing arguments. Michelle Snodgrass was like, it's not self-defense if you're in the interrogation room going, I did it. Like, that's not what someone who just shot their boyfriend in self-defense acts like. Essentially was their argument.
Right. Oh, man. It's so messed up, because if any of the things that she was claiming to be true were true, which, like, the texts prove that they're not, right?
Yeah.
But if any of it had been true, then it's like, yeah, girl, celebrate in the interrogation room that you just killed your rapist, abusive, like, manhandles you, tells you that you're just a fucking hillbilly and that no one else is gonna love you.
Right.
Like, absolutely, celebrate that you just killed that man if he's, like, that bad to you. Too bad he's not, and you're the one that's that bad.
Yeah.
You're the one who has admitted in text that you have sexually assaulted him, at least.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to force myself on you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Bro.
And, like, saying, like, I'm such a good actress.
Yeah, no, literally. Literally.
Girl!
That's,
Did you not know you were being
hook, line,
recorded?
sinker,
Like,
out. No.
In this interrogation room, why? Like, just... She clearly did not listen to true crime. You know what
Obviously no, which I'm fine with that.
Right. Right.
Less chance for her to get away with it, the better.
Yeah. Trial lasted 10 days.
Okay.
But the jury deliberated for only 5 hours.
Honestly, 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously.
And both sides, the defense and the prosecution, were anxious while they awaited the verdict.
Yeah.
But when it came, it was swift.
Yep.
Shayna Hubers was found guilty of murder.
Yup.
Shayna collapsed into her lawyer's arms, like, sobbing.
Oh.
It's really interesting when you watch the video of
like
it.
in an acting way?
She just, like, leans down as they read the verdict and just, like, collapses into his lap like this and is crying.
And I bet the only thoughts going through her head are, the consequences of my own actions. Oh no!
Truly terrifying.
Ah!
But I mean, honestly, in this case, truly terrifying. Like, she deserves it. But.
Yes. God.
So the options for sentencing ranged from 20 to 50 years or life.
Okay.
At the sentencing, Ryan's family members spoke. Ryan's sister, Katie Carter, her testimony, what she said at the sentencing, really, really struck me. Like, she was very emotional.
Yeah.
But she brought up a teddy bear.
Oh.
That was made out of one of his shirts.
Oh, man.
And in like the paw of the teddy bear was a voicemail from Ryan, like his voicemail message.
Yeah.
And that's like the only thing that they had left. She said, that's all we have, a voicemail.
Right.
Jay Poston, Ryan's father, spoke again emotionally about how his family would face future holidays without Ryan. He was like, we should have had, 30 more, Christmases, 30 more Thanksgivings
At least.
with him.
Yeah.
And he had to outlive his son, and like that just shouldn't happen.
One of the worst tragedies on earth.
I just can't even imagine. I can't imagine. It's not to compare it to like my cats. Like I
she says as she's cutting Boof.
Like not to compare it. I don't say it's the same thing, but it's like the closest thing I can imagine and like understand is like
he's
when if I'm saying if because he's not allowed to pass away, but
he's totally invincible.
When that happens, like I'm gonna be a mess. So I can't imagine like, your own child.
Grief just is like unmatched, and it can't go anywhere.
So suddenly too.
Yeah, and for her reasons is absolutely awful. Yeah, like if it were grief that were like, oh, it was like a car accident or something else tragic but unhelpable. Yeah, sudden brain aneurysm, whatever. Like that grief is awful, but losing a child to murder just absolutely complicates that grief tenfold.
And knowing he wanted to get out of that relationship too, and like was moving on and trying to leave that in the past, and then like this was this unknown consequence of that when it shouldn't be.
Sheer anger in so many different angles of like I'm thinking as his parents, like I'm mad at her for what she did. I'm maybe even a little bit, like, hate to say, mad at him. Could he have done anything to get out of the relationship in a different way? Did he not do enough? Like, all that complicated grief that, like, is illogical, but it's just the way that grief presents in this, like, I'm searching for answers. I'm looking for any way that this could have not happened. I wish it could have not happened. It's that bargaining element of grief that's going, what if I had done this? What if I had done that? Blah, 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 blah.
That, and they're having to listen to the defense's arguments about, like, he was abusive.
He wanted me to orgasm.
Yeah, like, these really, like, intimate things that...
Hell no.
They're probably, like, is this true? If it's true, like, then he's not this person we thought he was.
Right. Well, and he was talking to two girls at the same time. That's factual. So that's something that they've got to reckon with.
Yeah.
He probably wasn't doing abusive things. Sounds like he was
don't
being abused.
We don't know.
He could have been doing both. He could have been reciprocating, but he certainly was being abused.
Yeah.
Like, she revealed that in text.
Yeah.
It's very blatantly obvious.
Very obvious.
Ugh.
Okay, so we got, at the sentencing, Ryan's sister, Ryan's father, and then Shayna's mother.
Oh, God, Shayna's family having to reckon with this.
Right, and, like, just this, like derailing of, like, she's in grad school, she's on her way to do great things, she's super smart, super determined, and then, like, she murders her boyfriend.
Yeah.
So Shayna's mother, Sharon Hubers, took the stand, started speaking at sentencing, saying that her daughter's life had also been taken, and her family was grieving, too.
Sure, yes.
Right.
She took that herself.
Right.
That's your television is raving.
My TV is having a rave. The LED lights are from Temu.
Oh my god.
So I think sometimes
they just
decide like,
or maybe there's a ghost here with us that's just wanting to party.
Listen.
It could be. It could be.
We're going on a tangent here.
Okay.
But Katie and I are going to paranormal investigate in like a week.
Yes, we are.
Week and a half. Because we're both like weirdly into ghosts.
Absolutely, yes. Ghosts are real. If you don't believe it, you're wrong.
Just saying. There's some weird shit.
There is.
And I want something to happen to me so that I can, like, concretely be like, oh no, some crazy shit has happened and I can't explain it. And I absolutely believe that there is some form of a spirit or a ghost world.
Let's do some paranormal in a future pod.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely
It's
have
on
to.
the list.
Good.
It's on the
Good.
list.
I will come back.
Especially with, like, Austin-based
Oh,
stuff.
hell yeah.
And, like, San Antonio with the Alamo.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Anyway.
Anywho. God, to be Shayna's mom and, like, go on there and be like, we're grieving too. Yes, honey. Yes, you are. But someone didn't murder your daughter.
Yeah.
She did this to herself.
Right.
She made this choice. Even if she did initially shoot in self-defense, the other 5 shots she does deserve justice prison for.
To his face. She shot him in the face.
And then to callously say, I gave him the nose job he's been wanting.
It's just brutal.
Your daughter deserves this punishment.
And she's 21.
Deserves this punishment.
So, like...
Hella deserves this punishment.
Her lawyer's claiming she has, like, BPD and PTSD. Maybe she does, but, like, she's 21, so it's only gonna get worse.
Yeah, I mean, or if she gets help, it could get better.
Yes, you're so right.
Yeah.
You're right.
I clearly believe in the therapy system.
And I do too. Totally. But at this point, it doesn't seem like she's studying...
Yeah, no, she wasn't on route to get it fixed. She was on route to murder people.
And she's studying psychology, so, like...
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a little bit of dissonance there.
I mean, definitely a lot of dissonance for sure.
Here is the sentence. Shayna was sentenced to life imprisonment.
Okay.
With the possibility of parole.
Interesting. Okay.
When that was announced by the jury, the courtroom, you can hear it if you watch the videos, like audible gasps.
Yeah. The life is great, but the with possibility of parole, that's...
I think just like...
I mean, I hope that parole gets denied every single time.
Yeah, so these
But
audible
let's just
gasps...
continued trauma for Ryan's family every single time she goes for...
Yeah, they're gonna have to speak every single parole
Every single time they're gonna bring that fucking teddy bear back.
Yeah.
God.
So here's Shayna's current situation.
Okay.
Shayna's currently serving her life sentence at the Kentucky Correctional Institute for Women in Pee Wee Valley, Kentucky.
Pee Wee Valley.
Pee Wee Valley. It seems so quaint and cute, but like...
Keep her there.
Prison.
Yeah. Barbed wire.
I've been watching Prison Break.
Oh, God.
So, like, rewatching it. First season, immaculate.
Love it.
Immaculate.
Love
but that's
it.
what it makes me think of.
That's
like,
awesome.
All the shit they had to get through to get out.
Right.
She'll be eligible for parole in 2032.
Okay.
So
we are
that's
currently
actually...
just at the start of 2025.
So it's like coming up.
It is coming up.
But
sorry to Ryan's family.
Her possibility of release,
that's pretty low, at least for the first try.
given the nature of her crime and the fact that she like
keep her in there to reform for a lot longer.
She had made up this story and she lied and like they're gonna look at all of
between
that.
Trials, she was bragging to her cellmates. Like clearly is not doing reform.
And like we'll see when her first parole hearing comes up, like did she continue doing that?
Oh,
Is
my
she still talking about it in
God.
prison?
Yeah.
Like, what do people have to say that have
Right.
been around her since then?
Right. Like how much worse is it? Does she just brag? Yeah.
Right.
God, I'm interested.
Ryan, in memory of Ryan's academic achievements, moral integrity, and kind heart, a scholarship fund was established in his honor.
Excellent.
At the high school he went to at the Blessed Sacrament School.
Good.
It's called the Ryan Carter Post. Oh my gosh.
Pasta.
Ryan Carter Poston Scholarship Fund.
Nice.
His family and loved ones continue to celebrate his life, and his memory has become a symbol of promise and compassion.
Aww.
From his loved ones, his sister expressed the deep void left by her brother's untimely death.
Obviously.
Remembering him for his warmth and intelligence, reflecting on how he would have made like a lasting impact on the world as a lawyer.
I mean, he
and
had
the work
just
he
gotten
was
started,
doing.
so
Yeah.
And
And
just
just
way too short.
The work he's doing for like people who can't access
his
legal help.
social justice drive
Yes.
is gone from this earth now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then his ex-girlfriend, the one that he had broken up with before he met Shayna.
Yeah.
Remembered Ryan as someone who was kind, fun-loving, always
Aw.
trying to be the best version of himself. And
See, that's how you do a breakup.
yeah, for her, he was kind of the one that got away, from what it sounds like.
Oh my god.
And like wished she would have had more time with him.
Of course. Yeah.
Ryan's friends, coworkers, clients, neighbors have expressed their sorrow and admiration for him. You should see the obituary page on the funeral home's website.
Yeah,
there's
just
like
comment after comment after comment.
so many comments of
Yeah.
like, you know, I'm his boss's daughter, and
Yeah.
this is the
Just his
interaction and-
far-reaching
Yeah.
awesomeness.
and then people who like aren't even related to this situation at all, who didn't know him,
Yeah.
who didn't know the family, like just coming on and being like, I saw this episode online
Right.
and like just want to express my condolences.
Yeah.
And it seems like he was a really great person.
Aww.
So just really touching. I was really
Yeah.
taken aback by that. People who like knew him and didn't know him have been
Right.
affected by this. Ryan's former schools and professional colleagues have also paid tribute to his legacy, praising him. Oh, sorry, I have to burp.
Nice bird.
Pra-
Blue
praising-
ribbon.
Praising him not only for his talent and success, but also for his like kindness and his humility.
Yeah.
When it came to his work and his personal life.
Sounds like a guy who didn't deserve to be murdered.
I mean, no one does really, but
Yeah.
this in particular just like pulls at your heartstrings a little bit.
Absolutely.
Like thinking about what he could have done for
Oh, absolutely.
his community.
What he was doing and could have continued to do.
Mm-hmm.
And instead he got ripped from this planet by a woman who was possessive
Yeah.
of him and his life.
Yeah, and just like left a void in his community, like it's a testament to his character, like
Yeah.
how many people were affected by the fallout.
It's obviously a devastating loss.
Yes. So that's our story
Wow.
of Ryan Poston and Shayna Hubers.
Oh my
Tragic.
gosh.
Before we close out, I do want to throw some resources out there for people,
Yay.
just because this case involves domestic abuse and mental health issues. So if you or someone you know is experiencing domestic abuse, please seek help. Please, please, please. You don't deserve it.
Nope. And you can get out without murdering them.
Yes. Oh, definitely. And you can call the National Domestic Abuse Hotline. It's 1-800-799-7233. Or you can even text them. You can text START to 88788 for support via text. There's also local shelters, community organizations. Look those up if you need to. Please, please, please.
If you're like us and you're in Austin, highly recommend SAFE.
Oh, like SAFE?
Correct.
Cool. Safe.
Yep.
All right, Austin peeps. I hope you don't need it, but
yeah,
but
I
if
wish
you
this
do-
not upon you.
right. And I like don't want it to happen again. You know, like, we're
Yeah.
we talk about true crime, but
We try to learn from history
right.
and never let tragedy like this happen.
Yeah, it's never gonna go away, but like we can hand out resources to make sure it's one less.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're gonna throw this in here. Red flags of abusive relationships, and recognizing them early can help you protect yourself and your loved ones. Manipulation and controlling behavior, threats or intimidation, isolation from family and friends, emotional abuse and belittling, physical violence, coercion. If you see any of those in your own relationship or your loved one's relationships, it's worth speaking up and asking for help. For mental health, for that side of it, it's just as important as physical health. Katie and I clearly both agree with that. As
Wait,
Katie-
therapy's good? What?
Katie's a therapist, and I am a decade-long patron of the therapeutic arts. If you're struggling with your mental health, don't hesitate to reach out. I have used this line before. It's the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, 1-800-273-8255. You can also text HELLO to 741-741. There's also, is it 988 now?
988, yeah. Some counties don't have a whole lot of resources, and it just reroutes to 911 right now. But
Okay.
try 988 either way.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're considering hurting yourself, harming yourself, even harming another person, get some resources, get some help. Yeah.
Even if you just feel like you're underwater, like,
Yeah, you need to talk to somebody and no one else is available, call
you
them.
can actually
24/7.
You can go to the National Suicide Hotline's website and you can like live chat with someone, so you don't even have to like give them your phone number, like nothing.
Yeah.
And the times that I've used it, they talk you through it and then they give you resources to kind of help you move forward.
Yeah, and they'll familiarize themselves with your local resources.
Yeah.
You just gotta tell them where you're at. Sometimes there's really long wait times, which low-key is good, because then you're, like, forcing yourself to self-regulate while you're waiting for... You're, like, angry at someone now instead of spiraling out of control. You're going, why is this person not texting me back? I'm on the chat. Why aren't they texting me?
That's true.
And now you're not spiraling. You're thinking about how angry you are at the chat.
I've honestly never had a long wait time for the live
nice.
chat
Oh, that's lucky.
version.
Nice.
And I don't know about the texting, but the live chat, it's, 5 minutes tops.
Well, and all the, like, websites, whether it's the domestic abuse or suicide or anything like that, most of the websites also have, like a quick cancel out button as well. So if you are, you know, let's say you're facing abuse and you're researching things and then suddenly your abuser comes home, there's a quick exit out button that, like, takes you to a different website. And now you're not, like, sketchily researching
Nice.
abuse stuff.
Nice.
You're hiding it from your abuser.
That's really cool.
Yeah, really, really cool technology going on there. So all of
Really
these things are
cool.
really awesome resources. Definitely use them.
Yeah, and I'll put them in the show notes as well. But feel free to listen to this little ending section again if you need to. Hope you don't have to, but it's here if you need it. Okay, first episode.
You did it!
Check!
Oh my god!
Check! Stay tuned for the next episode of Friends Who Crime. We're going to dive into a case that explores the blurry line between justice and revenge. So you won't want to miss that. I'm going to try to release one at least every 2 weeks. Hopefully I'm going to get to once a week, and then we'll kind of go from there, see how it's being...
Podcasts are a lot of work. Especially research-based podcasts like this.
Research, I want to make sure I get all the details right and that I'm not, like, spreading misinformation.
Yeah,
so,
and honoring the victims.
Yeah. But with that being said, like, come back, listen to me again. I'll have a different friend on. I'm not quite sure who it's going to be yet. I have an idea. If you know me personally, I bet you kind of know my little circle of friends, but I'm going to try and pull from, like, all aspects of my life. Work, friends, family, like we're trying to pull
Cover
from
all
everywhere.
the bases.
Yeah, just to get lots of different spices in there.
Nice.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram. Follow Friends Who Crime on Instagram. We have a cute little logo, and I say we, it's really just me.
Poof, just
But
meows.
yeah, did you hear that squeak? Okay, final thoughts. I'm trying out this sign-off phrase. Let me know what you think.
Can I first say, thank you for having me on your first episode! Oh my god!
So
This
fun.
was great! You did great, and, like, I'm gonna be a subscriber!
Good.
This is exciting and awesome!
I just appreciate you, like, taking out the time out of your life.
Oh, no, I would have, like, done this anyway. It's just, I get to do this with you.
Yes.
Like, this would have been a podcast that I would have been listening to in my free
True.
time anyway.
True.
So I'm just on your couch while it's happening.
That's very true. I'm just glad. I'm glad. Glad I
love
have you.
you.
Always, always, always. Love you so much. Okay, here we go. Let me know what you think about this sign-off phrase. True friends don't let friends commit crimes. Bye!
Bye!
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Oh, brilliant. True friends don't let friends commit crimes. Friends commit crimes. So boring.
I know.